Welcome to the Hermetis Podcast with Andrea Cox, the only plant-based astrology podcast focusing on Hermetic principles, cellular detoxification, and mystery teachings. Andrea's interviews include her celebrity clients, NBA ball players, musical composers, detoxification specialists, and world-renowned healers just like Andrea. Andrea is a model-turned-celebrity detox specialist, intuitive healer, and holistic wellness and life coach. You will find only authentic people interviewed on this podcast. Real recognizes real. Andrea prides herself on only inviting those who are uniquely creative.
Hello, and welcome to the Hermetis Podcast. Today we have Lilly Statham on, Witchcraft tutor and Norse pagan, witch from a small town in the heart of England. Lilly is a professional content creator and witchcraft tutor, teaching 600K plus people collectively online about how to incorporate witchcraft into their everyday lives. After learning witchcraft herself for the past 10 years, she decided to teach her findings to her followers. Soon enough, her platforms grew from just a few hundred followers to now over 600,000, all of which use her witchcraft tutorials and teachings to improve their lives on a daily basis. From simple candle magic to elaborate spells, she teaches witchcraft to all. We love that, Lilly. Oh my gosh, welcome. I'm the Instagram grandmother, and you're gonna think this is I found you because tell us the name of your business.
Mystic Primrose.
Mystic Primrose, and I grow evening primrose in my yard because I'm a little witch myself. And I was like, I need to search hashtag primrose, and I found you. And I was like, oh my God, who is this beautiful girl? What you teach is different than I feel than any type of dark witchcraft. Your witchcraft is really light. Get into this.
I think I originally created the Instagram account just purely as a way to take witchy photos for myself and to put them on Instagram, but not on my personal one, so my friends didn't think I was being some sort of weirdo or something. And then after maybe the fifth post or something, it just started picking up momentum, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on here? And then I just kept posting more and more, and I think I ended up the 10th post or something had a few hundred likes. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe this could actually be something. And then I've kind of just gone with it ever since, and then realized people were asking me for advice and asking me to teach them. So I was like, oh my gosh, I better actually make sure I've got my facts and stuff right. And it's kind of just kept growing ever since.
And when was that? Because you're how old?
I'm 25.
Such a big, I could have given birth to you. I could just call me Mama Witch. So you're 25, and when did you start this? What year was that?
I want to say I think I was in second year uni. So let me think. Maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I created the account. And I didn't really I kind of went through phases with actually creating content for it, and it wasn't until maybe a year and a half ago that I was like, okay, I'm going to actually try and see if this actually goes somewhere. And I managed to get it from 4,000 followers to what it's at now. So it's kind of crazy.
I love it. And I knew I was connected with you because you have a dog, and I find only good witches have the dogs. I find kind of witches have the cats. I'm just saying. So what is your lineage? Because I'm Scottish. I'm Celtic Scottish. So of course I have that blood and completely attracted to you.
Honestly, I don't know. I'll be honest. I think my family are mainly just all from the UK. I think I maybe had I think my mom said I had it was maybe a great aunt that was a little bit weird, lived in the Scottish Highlands on her own with a load of animals. So maybe it comes from that side of things, but honestly, I don't really know.
Okay. So I first saw you and you were doing something that I do all the time, and it freaked me out. You were blowing cinnamon in the front door
Yeah.
first of the month. And then I saw you making something I make all the time, which is money rice. I sell at my Etsy store. And I was like, oh my God, this is either a like soulmate or this is some kind of sisterhood. So how did you actually get into witchcraft?
I think so. Ages ago, I can't remember how old I was. I was maybe like 14, 15 at the time. And my friend took me to a metaphysical store. At the time, I didn't really know what it was. So I walk in there and there's crystals everywhere. There's tarot cards, there's pendulums hanging from the ceiling. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is this place? And I think I asked the person who ran the shop, they had the pendulums above like the checkout desk. And I was like, oh, what are these for? And she was like, oh, they help you to get answers to yes or no questions and stuff. And at the time, I had a crush on someone. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to tell me whether I actually date this person or not. And at the point of like 14, head over heels for this guy, I was like, I need this pendulum so I know like what the answers or outcome that's going to be. Lo and behold, I did date him like a while later. Turns out we're not meant for each other. But it's
long gone, I'm sure.
Exactly. We're good friends now, but it wasn't meant to be anything more than that. And ever since then, I kind of like got a couple of crystals here and there, and like I'd always try and get to this metaphysical store, but at the time it was like in a different town, so I needed my mum to drive me there, and she's like, we're not going there again. I'm like, please just let me look at the pretty crystals. And ever since then it's kind of just like built up more and more. And to start off with, I didn't really realize it was witchcraft, so I was doing like manifestation notes, I was using this pendulum and having crystals, but I didn't really put like two and two together until later on, like maybe like a year before I started creating the Instagram account. I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually witchcraft, like this is crazy. And then it's kind of just progressed ever since.
I love my crystals, as you can see. It's a big silly slab. I've got crystals everywhere, but and the sage is behind me. You know, I think witchcraft gets a bad name. I think people automatically, there's a stigma to witchcraft. There's a stigma to oracle cards. I'm creating an oracle deck right now. And when I created my tarot channel in 2017, after having a health channel for like 8 years, it went up to 2 million views and like 17,000 subscribers, like overnight. The videos were getting like 20, 30, 40,000 views. And I let the stigma of everybody like, what are you doing? You're going to ruin your health business. You're going to, yet I was making like 20 grand a month. I'm like, okay, but I'm making money at what I know, but everybody all of a sudden thinks I'm like putting spells on them. And like, you know, I was doing readings and they were assuming, you look like a Sagittarius, an Aries, an Aquarius, or a Scorpio. What are you?
Sagittarius. You called it.
So yeah, you look like you're fire, but I bet you have a little bit of I bet you have a lot of Scorpio in your chart, like I do. So, you know, I got all this flack from people in the comments. And what do you say to people that get the wrong idea? What do you say to people that sit down? Because I'm sure you have tarot cards and things like that sit down for a tarot reading and they're like, oh, it's an Aries reading. I'm an Aries, so everything she's saying is about me. And you're like, no, the energy is interchangeable. This could be about your grandmother, it could be about your dog. What do you say to people that don't really get it?
I don't know. I think like people have to be open to the whole entire like idea in order to like begin to understand it. And I feel like there's no harm in like trying to understand it, because when you like open yourself to this whole entire world of like abundance, manifestation and everything, it completely changes your life. So like I don't understand why people wouldn't want to tap into that. So I don't know. I'm kind of like, if you want to get involved, get involved. And if it's not for you, then fair enough. But at least give it a chance to start off with. And if you realize, okay, I don't really like this, like manifesting my dream life, then fair enough. But if you don't give it a go, then you can't really sit there and kind of put someone else down for giving it a go.
I 100% agree with you. And I think also one of the things that I admire about you is a lot of your witchcraft does stem from manifestations. I think I saw one the other day where you were like, get a house. You were like burning a candle for a house. I was like, yes. So this comes from a really positive place. But I have to ask, because everybody's going to want to know this. If someone upset you, should they be scared? Like, would you do anything that, like, I'm a pub in here and like I'm all about Lilly.
I mean, the temptation, I mean, with regards to recent events with boys that we won't talk about, the temptation is there to be like, I could take some power into my hands right now and like give them my version of karma, but at the same time, I don't want karma to come back on me, and it's not really my kind of vibe, even though I'm tempted to start, like, maybe, but then I really don't think I would, just because I don't want to end up getting backlash from it and then wishing I'd never done something. And at the end of the day, I don't want to harm anyone with witchcraft. It's meant to be there to benefit someone's life. So no, I wouldn't say
it's folded up. No one's name's folded up in a black box underneath your like cupboard or anything like that. You're not. Not
yet. No one's pushed me that far just yet. Hopefully, no one does.
That's good. That's good. You know, I grew up Christian, and I believe in Jesus. I believe in God, and I do believe that the world is shifting and dividing. But I think that there is nothing wrong with blowing cinnamon through your front door on the first day of the month, or lighting a candle of intention that you infuse with essential oils to bring money in and abundance in, or saying a protection prayer. I actually see nothing wrong with that at all. And I think the closed-mindedness of some people really see it as evil and walk into a house like this with crystals everywhere and Buddhas everywhere and think, oh, she's not, you know, she must not pray, or she must. Do you pray, or do you have goddesses that you look up to, or do you follow?
Maybe more towards, say, like Norse gods and goddesses, so with like Freya, Thor, Odin and stuff like that.
Odin lost his eye.
Odin. My eyes don't work, so but like with deities,
we're gonna do a little pop quiz for you. Do you know the deity who loved dogs?
Oh my gosh.
I'm quizzing the beautiful young Lilly.
Now I'm just letting myself lying down.
Hecate.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Hecate.
Yeah.
Hecate. She took care of Persephone when Persephone came out of the underworld, and Hecate loved dogs. So but so I'm surprised you said Odin. You're very young to know Odin and how he lost his eye so he could gain wisdom.
I feel like I've always, like, when I've spoken to more spiritual people and stuff, they've always been like, you're like an old soul. And I never really understood what it means. But I think like the more I'm like delving into like my spiritual side of things, I'm starting to like understand why people say that, and then why I'm more attracted to like animals such as like elephants and stuff, because it's all kind of like wisdom, and then maybe Odin as well. So maybe I'm just having a revelation right now. But
you have a lot of wisdom, and I think even as you get older, which us witches, we age in reverse, but I think as you get older, you're going to even gain more wisdom, and you're going to transmute your energy and create beautiful things. Like when I first saw you, you do all your branding yourself, right?
Yeah. One-man band.
Yeah. So you're a one-woman show, and you do all your branding. Your branding is beautiful. I'm sure you've had people try to copy you, right? I'm sure.
Oh, don't get started on that topic.
Yeah, I think I connected you with someone to get rid of quite a few accounts,
Mhm.
right, that were fake in nature.
There's still quite a few up there, put it that way. And then I recently realized people have started copying my Facebook account as well. So I guess I'll take it as that maybe I'm famous, but not
Yeah.
that I see it as that. But it's just so frustrating. It's like I've put so much hard work into it just for then people to either pretend to be me or just steal my content and use it for their own gain. But it's not going to work for
Story of
them.
my life, Lily. Story of my life. Yeah. And look at it as a compliment. There's two things that will happen to you when you quote are famous. People will try to attack you, they'll try to report your content, try to bring you down. I've had that happening for a year now, and they will steal your content. And that's just it's flattery. So do you want kids? Do you have a boyfriend? We want to know about your love life because you're so adorable.
Oh my gosh, it's perfect timing. Not at the moment, currently. It's kind of like my problem is I lead with my heart. Like I give one person absolutely everything. And then my downfall is I tend to choose the wrong type of men. And I always end up getting hurt because of it, which is quite recent. I want to say maybe like 3 or 4 days ago. So at the minute, I'm by myself, and honestly, I think I've never really been properly single. So I'm taking this time to actually properly discover who I am and find my own empowerment. Normally I used to struggle with it on being on my own, but now I'm getting involved in like shadow work and essentially just delving even further into spirituality as much as I possibly can, because why not? And
Yeah.
screw boys, they're all idiots. No one.
Oh, I think you'll find the right one. I don't think you've had your Saturn return yet, and that might affect you. And there's even ways to look at your astrological chart in your K2 and Rahu and Vedic and see, is this person karmic? Is this a soulmate?
Yeah,
Is it flame? So astrology has a lot to do with it. I've had my fair share of duds. You'll be
yeah.
fine. Fine. So
Maybe I need to get your help to help read my astrological charts and stuff, because I don't know what I'm doing with that side of things. So I might have to be like, can I have some help, please?
there's a lot of placements that'll tell you if someone is from a past life, and that's why it's so hard to make it work. But usually there's kind of an obsession that kind of
Yeah,
goes to the distant, that's a past life. And if people would recognize that, oh, just because this person's my karmic doesn't mean I can't love them from a distance and wish them
yeah.
well. Is that a cat? You have the
Yeah.
black cat? Wow.
She's a tortoise shell, but she's called Taro. She's just a little pain all the time. It's just there. I'm like, Sally, just go do your own thing.
The dog's
Huh?
name is Jenny, the dog?
My dog's called Ginny, and then that's Taro, and then I've got another cat somewhere, but he's a little scaredy cat, so
I
he
love
can't.
it. No, I love it. So we like to talk about food too on here because I'm an intuitive healer and a holistic wellness coach. How is your diet? Like, what do you eat? I saw a day in your life. Is that really how you live? Because it's pretty impressive.
I think at the minute, because I have a bodybuilding competition coming up, which is like maybe 4 weeks out. So my diet is pretty bleak at the minute. It just consists of chicken, rice, and
Vegetables.
pretty much spinach and vegetables and a bit of dark chocolate. So
Are
that's
you
like the
doing the
highlight
six
of my day.
meals? Are you doing like the 6 meals a day thing or
I
the
think it's 5, but
yeah,
normally I'm quite bad at like when it comes to like missing meals and stuff. So I tend to just have 3, and then I'll be on like the Stairmaster or something doing cardio. I'm like, I really should have eaten before I came out, but it's fine. We'll keep going. I'll just end up feeling faint and then eat something on the way back. But my
the whole
diet isn't great. It's not very broad at the moment, and that's just because it's bodybuilding competition. But normally
okay.
it's better than that.
I love that. I used to be, now back in the day, because I'm like headed towards 50, I used to be a fitness model on like magazines when I was in my 20s. So I know the whole fasted cardio, the weight training, the whole, it's it's tough. That's really tough. I look at those pictures now and I'm like, who was that? Uh, so, I want to ask you, what can people come to you for? What kind of services do you offer? Like, like if someone's being bullied or something, will you do something to protect them or something like that? Or what do you?
It's honestly, I think it's down to the situation. So if there's someone coming to me where they feel like they're being bullied or they want a bit of extra help with bringing like abundance and stuff in, or just like normal people problems, they're more than welcome to come to me, and I'll do my best to create a spell or a spell jar to help them out with that. Or if they're looking to create something themselves, I will write out like a bit of a spell sheet for them so they can do that. But I think it's when people come to me that ask for, can you help me get my ex back? But they're not taking into consideration someone's free will. It's like, I need them back. I want them back. I'm a bit like, I'm going to step away from this just because I don't really agree with it. And at the end of the day, you want them to come back because they want to come back to you, not because you forced them. So if it's that side of things, I'm a bit like,
thank you for turning all my exes away who have come to you and asked you to do that spell on me. I really appreciate you turning them all away. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, maybe a self-love spell instead or something like that. But no, I obviously won't turn people down. But if it goes to like go negate someone's free will, I'm like, maybe go to someone else. Just because it's in my vibe.
What does the future bring to you? Like, what do you want to do? What is the next step for Lilly? Because you've already grown huge on Instagram. What are you on TikTok as well?
Yeah, I'm on pretty much most platforms, but I want to say Instagram is my main one, just because it's the one I've put the most amount of time in. And when it comes to like goals and stuff, I'm not too sure. I'm kind of, part of me is like wanting to just go with the flow with things and see what happens. But then I just want to keep being able to like scale my business side of things and maybe create something like a podcast, hopefully one day write a book. I've had quite a few people asking me to write a book, but I'm like, I need to find the time to actually sit down. At the minute, I'm
a book of spells.
I think so, because like people have been like, can you write down all these spells? I want to buy the book that all the spells you've created. I'm like, I need to write it first. And I've been working on doing a like a witchcraft course. So if someone's wanting to get into witchcraft but don't really know where to start or anything, I'm busy typing away at creating like an online course for it, which is nowhere near finished or anything. So I think that's going to be my next step in like the Mystic Primrose journey. But I don't know. End goals, I'm not too sure.
Where did you get the name Mystic Primrose? And we've only got about 6 minutes. I want to ask you one more question after that. Where did you get the name Mystic Primrose?
A name generator. I didn't know what to call my Instagram or anything.
It's a great name. It's a great name.
Honestly, I don't particularly like it. I find it cringy, but I think at this point, I'm like, I've got to stick with it.
Start growing evening primrose. Evening primrose is one of the most magical herbs you can grow. I think it all happened for a reason. And you know what else I noticed about you? Is that your place right there behind you, all that gorgeous decor? Every witch I know, myself included, is an excellent decorator. We all have such good, aesthetically beautiful things. I have got almost the exact same couch. If I turned this around, you'd be like, those are the colors in here, like the deep green, the orange.
Definitely.
So do you also get into decorating? Because I noticed your bedroom and everything, because I'm your stalker. I know everything you do is so dialed in. It's so
I think there's a lot of parts in my house that do still need to be sorted, but at the same time, if I'm not happy with how it looks, then I'm not going to be comfortable, because I work from home. I want to be able to love the place that I'm in. So I'll have a rough idea on what I'm doing, and then I kind of just like see pieces and stuff. I'm like, okay, that'll work. And then it just kind of like organically grows itself, instead of like, I don't know how to explain it. I do like decorating. I like the whole bohemian side of things. And for some reason, I have lots of elephants. I don't know why. Elephants aren't my favorite animal, but they're just cropping up everywhere at the minute. So
Maybe you had a past life in Africa or somewhere where elephants are relevant, because yeah, you are just a prize. So how can people find you? How can people order from you? You ship out of the
everything is at Mystic Primrose. Anything with a variation in the username is a fake account, so I'm just warning people. But you can find me on YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, and Instagram. And my website is mysticprimrose.com. So I've managed to get all the usernames.
Okay, do you ship out of the country?
Yeah, I have just extended where I ship to, so I'm pretty much on every country at the minute. There's a couple of places that I'm not doing at the moment. Oh my gosh, my cat's going crazy.
I'm excited.
Yes, so pretty much everywhere, which I'm happy I can.
Oh, I feel like I'm in the coven. I feel like I am in the coven, because I almost had, there was another girl, and this will cut out any minute, so I'm going to say I love you right now. And I will touch base with you soon. There was another girl I was going to have on here, also from England, and I just got a real dark vibe. I got a vibe that she wasn't fully healed yet and ready. I think she'll be ready down the road, but she wasn't fully healed. You know, wouldn't you say, Lilly, that the sign of a healed person and someone that's a healthy witch, so to speak, is someone that's not jealous or envious of others? Don't you think?
I think so, because at the end of the day, you want to be comfortable in your own skin and like happy with who you are. Like I'm not bothered about what other people do or whatever. I'm just being me. So I'm happy with who I am.
We love you. We love you, Lilly. We love the Hermetis podcast, and from this little secluded mountain to your beautiful home in England, I'm sending you so much love, and I will touch you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like to check out Andrea Cox's most recent 4th book, Eat Right for Your Zodiac, it's the first book to ever combine astrology with plant-based eating. Andrea's Akashic record readings, holistic wellness coaching, and intuitive life coaching services are sought out by both celebrities and ordinary, everyday people like Andrea herself. If you'd like to connect with her, you can find her at AndreaCox.com, on YouTube at both Andrea Cox TV and The Detox Intuitive, on Facebook at Andrea Lee Cox, and on Instagram at Raw Chef Andrea.